What is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. The prejudging for Classic Physique has wrapped up at the 2023 Mr Olympia, and this is looking like your top 6. So from left to right, we have Michael DeBull, Urs Kalasinski, Chris Bumstead, Ramon Dino, Terrence Ruffin, and Breon Ainsley. I think that Michael DeBull is the biggest surprise to this top 6. A lot of us were expecting to see Mike Sommerfeld or maybe even Wesley Vissers, but well deserved for Michael DeBull. This is the best Michael I've ever seen. And I actually want to start off by talking about the second call out. After the top 6 did one round of posing, the judges already knew who the top 2 were going to be. So this is the battle for 3rd to 8th place. Mike Sommerfeld, Michael DeBull, Urs, Breon, Terrence, and of course Wesley Vissers. And Wesley really sticks out in this lineup because he's just absolutely massive. And Breon Ainsley looks incredible. And Terrence Ruffin was initially in the center, but he was moved off to the side and Breon Ainsley was placed in the middle. So you guys can say that Terrence is already guaranteed to be the 3rd place finisher, or Breon and Urs Kalasinski are fighting for that 3rd place spot. But going through the images, Urs Kalasinski's conditioning really sticks out. And I really would have liked to see Mike Sommerfeld next to Urs Kalasinski. Michael DeBull looks a little bit stringy in this shot. Urs Kalasinski looks great, but I think Mike Sommerfeld presents a better upper body. Breon looks bubbly, but not as dry as Urs and Mike. Terrence looks a little bit small, and I would say that Wesley Vissers is lacking detail in the side leg, and he isn't as dry as a Urs or Mike Sommerfeld. Now let's take a look at the back double bicep pose, and this is gonna be the Breon Ainsley show. And again, I really wish Mike Sommerfeld would have been moved over next to Urs Kalasinski because I think he looks incredible. Even in this back double, I will probably have him right after Breon. I think Urs is displaying great conditioning, but honestly, his delts overpower his back. Terrence Ruffin looks great, but he's just a little bit darker, so honestly, it's harder to see detail. Wesley Vissers has a great back, but again, not really showcasing much detail and doesn't really look too dry in the lower body. I like Breon in this shot and maybe Mike Sommerfeld second. Now taking a look at the ab and thigh shot, and I would say that this is Wesley Vissers by a very large margin. I would say that all of these guys have a pretty good ab and thigh shot, but to me personally, Wesley Vissers is the only guy that really looks classic in this shot. Mike Sommerfeld, Michael DeBull, great shot, but they don't really have that tiny waist, that great V-taper. Breon Ainsley looks good, but he's at a very weird angle to make his legs look a little bit bigger. But after watching the live stream and reviewing the images, I don't really see a clear winner in this call out. I think I could say that Urs Kalasinski is maybe the most complete. He isn't winning the most poses, but I don't think he's falling in last in a lot of the poses either. But let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think about this 3rd to 8th comparison? And let's take a close look at the top 2 from the Classic Physique prejudging. Chris Bumstead versus Ramon Dino. And as you guys can see from the quads, the separation, Ramon Dino has definitely made improvements. I think Chris Bumstead is better than last year, but I don't think he is as dry as he was at last year's show. And I definitely think Ramon Dino has closed the gap a little bit between him and Chris Bumstead. I'm not saying Ramon Dino is going to win the show, but I think this year's comparison is a lot closer than last year's comparison. But in this shot, Chris is just showcasing so much detail, so much muscle maturity from top to bottom. It's a little bit too much for Ramon Dino. And Chris just looks absolutely massive in this shot. Great execution. Now, what I really think hurts Ramon is his comparison versus Chris in this back double bicep. Either Chris Bumstead isn't all the way into this shot, or he just isn't executing it properly. He doesn't have his usual width, but I don't think I've ever seen this much detail in Chris Bumstead's back. But as far as the dryness goes, I think his glutes were a little bit drier last year. And looking at the ab and thigh shot, my eyes were immediately drawn to the midsection of Ramon Dino. How many abs does this guy have? But Ramon doesn't have those huge lats like Chris Bumstead. Even though Ramon has a better midsection, I think Chris possibly pulls off a better V-taper just because of the thickness of the torso. Both have great quads. And wrapping up with the favorite classic pose, this would of course go to Chris Bumstead. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think about this top 2 comparison? Overall, I think Chris Bumstead will win another title, but I don't think this win will be as dominant as the ones in the past. But you guys can let me know in the comment section below, what do you think? And if you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The 2023 Mr. Olympia and Classic Physique Olympia champion will be crowned tonight. You guys don't want to miss it. I'm Krishan from GOAT Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.